Light from the sun arrives at the top of the Earth's atmosphere at a power level of about 1 kilowatt per square meter. It is by this energy that all life processes on Earth are ultimately driven. Light is referred to as electromagnetic radiation because the true nature of light is based on tiny electromagnetic fields called photons. These photons of light can have many different energy levels or wavelengths, which are expressed in nanometers. The most familiar ones are the visible wavelengths. Every wavelength is represented by a different color. However, there are many other wavelengths beyond visible light. All of them together are called the electromagnetic spectrum. At the most powerful end of the spectrum are the gamma rays, followed by the X-rays, then ultraviolet light, and then visible light, which takes up only a tiny fraction of the electromagnetic spectrum and is sandwiched between ultraviolet and infrared light. Infrared light is familiar to us as heat. The spectrum continues as microwaves and ends in radio waves, the least powerful photons. Of the entire electromagnetic spectrum, only ultraviolet light, visible light, and infrared light are important to us at this time. The visible light spectrum ranges from 390 to 700 nanometers. The light registered by the eye and the color of it depends on the strength of each wavelength. The Coloring Rendering Index, or CRI, expresses the ability of a light source to illuminate an object as compared to natural light, with natural sunlight having a CRI of 100. Nowadays, every artificial light source with a CRI above 95 is considered to be a full-spectrum light, since it is able to light up an object as it would appear under natural light and thus receive a certain amount of any wavelength within the visible spectrum. Closely related is the color temperature, expressed in Kelvin, to define the color of the light emitted. In describing color temperatures, a low color temperature corresponds to a warm or a red-yellow appearance, like incandescent lamps. These are around 2500 Kelvin. Fluorescent lamps operating at 4500 Kelvin or higher emit a white bluish light. In color temperature, the higher the Kelvin temperature, the whiter and bluer the light. The standard average temperature for daylight is about 5600 Kelvin, although it can range from as low as 2000 Kelvin at sunset to more than 18,000 Kelvin in overcast or humid conditions. To obtain natural visible light conditions in the terrarium, it is important to choose a light source with the highest possible CRI and the color temperature from around 6000 Kelvin for optimal colors in animals and plants. Terrarium plants benefit from certain wavelengths within the visible light for photosynthesis.